every single day. You didn't put hard limits on yourself. You did what was comfortable. You did what was necessary. You built on yourself every single day. And it's paying off. And that is why I feel like habits are the way to go, ladies, because I know that when you start investing in yourself every single day, just a little bit, with one habit, maybe two. Hello, and welcome back to the podcast, The Elevated Women's Club. I am so excited once again for another episode because as we go into the new year, I think this is something that needs to be talked about so much because I think setting your goals for 2025 has become so much of a buzzword lately, unfortunately. And if you are not setting your goals properly, then it can really affect you later on. And that is why we are going to talk about having habits actually as we go into 2025 instead of goals, because it transformed my 2024. And I feel like I'm going to carry this into the new year of 2025 of just focusing on my habits versus setting 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 goals for myself, because that's what we're all doing, right? We're all ready to set the goals. We're all ready to meet them. However, what's the plan that you're going to have in order to become the person that is going to be ready to receive those goals and those objectives that you set for yourself? Chances are we still have to work on becoming, right? Because this channel is all about transformation. It's all about transforming into the people that we want to be. And I know that if you start setting habits now and going into 2025, that it will be so much more beneficial for you in the long run versus setting a goal that you may or may not accomplish. So again, having goals is not bad. If you are someone that can consistently meet their goals year after year and you have not seen any issues with being able to meet your goals, wonderful. That is great. However, we are going to talk about statistics around what percentage of people actually meet their yearly goals a little bit later. So I want you to stick around for that because it is not good, ladies. Because I think we're coming at it from the wrong lens. We're coming at it from a goal is either you meet it or you don't. You're setting an expectation of attaining something that may or may not happen based on many different factors, right? As opposed to having like a daily habit where you're working on slowly transitioning and making progress to an end result that you're okay if you meet or you're okay if you don't. So an example of this, having like a habit versus a goal, would be having a goal of losing 20 pounds within 3 months. I know we have all been there, ladies. We've all been on our weight loss journey. We all try to get ready for summer, right? So we say we want to lose 20 pounds in 3 months because that's what the cutoff is for summer, right? Because we waited too long. So we all go, we get really motivated. Week 1's going great. We lose a pound. Week 2's going wonderful. We lose 2 pounds. Week 3, we lose 3. Week 4, okay, we still lost 3 pounds, right? Week 5, okay, we're still just down 3 pounds. Like, you know how that can be slightly demotivating? Unfortunately, when you come to a point in your weight loss journey and you plateau, it requires a lot of consistency and a lot of motivation. However, when you hit that plateau, sometimes just because something may change, your hormones may be acting different, you might be on your period, you might have some stress going on from work or your family life, like things can happen, but now you've set an expectation that you need to lose 20 pounds in 3 months and you're freaking out. And then you just forget it altogether and you're just like, this is it. This is what I have, that I didn't reach my goal. And now you feel like you failed when honestly you didn't. You should be celebrating those 3 pounds that you lost and then just keep working on building healthy habits in order to sustain that. And eventually over time, it will come off, because going to the example of a habit, that is what it is. If you set a habit of working out for 30 minutes a day, you don't put a timeline on it. You're just going to say, I'm going to move my body for at least 30 minutes a day, whether that be yoga, stretching, strength training, elliptical, Stairmaster. It doesn't matter what it is. Whatever you like to do, you're going to say 30 minutes a day, I'm going to move my body. You start feeling good. you start eating better. You start moving more. You have more steps. You have more energy. That 30 minutes turns into an hour a day. That hour turns into an hour and 2 walks a day. Like, you are building, you are doing things, and you don't put the expectation on it because you know the weight is going to fall off of you eventually. You're going to start incorporating healthier things into your diet because you want to feel better when you're working out and after you're working out. And now you're taking better care of your body. That is what having a daily habit can do for you versus having a goal of something that you may or may not attain. Again, nothing wrong with having goals. However, I do believe strongly, firmly, that you will have more success by putting healthy habits into your life. Because having goals is kind of like a yes or no outcome. Will I lose 20 pounds in 3 months? Will I start this business in a month? That is a hard outcome that you have placed on yourself that you may or may not meet because you honestly don't know what God, the universe, has in store for you. You could get to the end of your weight loss journey and in 6 months you could lose 25 pounds or 30 pounds. And not only could you have lost that amount of weight, you could feel so much more incredible than you would likely have felt at the end of a 3-month journey trying to starve yourself, do unhealthy things, and push yourself to a body goal that honestly no one cares about but you. No one. Like, you are the only one that has that in your mind. And I am telling you this from experience. I have done these things, just put very hard limits on myself, not just about weight, but other things just in life. I need to accomplish this by this date. I need to reach this timeline, by tomorrow. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. But when you put hard limits on yourself, like when you're setting a goal, it's very difficult for you to pull yourself out of that funk if you don't reach it. Because what your mind's going to tell you is that we don't want to do that again. That is not comfortable for us. We didn't reach it, so it's not for us. We can't do that. You can't do that again because that's going to hurt you, or you're not going to reach it. You can't do it. You're going to fail. That is what your mind is telling you when you establish a goal, as opposed to establishing a healthy habit of, I'm going to work out for 30 minutes a day. And then if I feel really good at the end of 30 days, I'm going to tack on 30 more minutes, and then it's going to be an hour a day. Or I'm going to start working on my business for an hour a day. And then I get into a groove, I find a routine, I move some things around in my schedule, and then it moves to 2 hours a day, and then I'm making sales. That is what habits do. They build on each other. And think about it, we are creatures of habit. We have just gotten away from this so much because I have strong speculations that this is because of the survival mode that we're in with this, current society of just not being connected to ourselves, thinking that we have to make moves like yesterday in order to compete with our peers. In order to be at the next level, we have to be billionaires, by next week. That is not where we want to live, ladies. That is not where we want to live, to constantly be in a state of, I need to lose 20 pounds in 3 months, and if I don't do it, then I'm a failure, and I'm never going to lose 20 pounds. That is not where you want to be. You want to move that body 30 minutes a day, and that is what we're going to talk about today. And now we are going to talk about incorporating your daily habits, and I want you to pick 3 to 5 daily habits, depending on how ambitious you are, because I've been working at this for almost a year. So yes, I have 5, but it's going to be a slow build over time. You will not be incorporating all of these tomorrow. And we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. But when you are thinking about these habits, thinking about it from a lens of creating you as this dream woman that you want to be in 2025 and beyond, because that is where you're going to be living now, ladies. You're going to be becoming your dream woman through the habits incorporated in your daily life. And I just want to say first off that this is really important, because when you think about people wanting fast pace, everything yesterday, they're not ready. They're not ready. And no one wants to hear this, but transformation takes time. And this is what this channel is about, transforming. And I will give you an example. This is a very simple, broad example, but think about your some good music that you like. Think about when a hit comes out, everybody's all into it. It's a trend, right? It's a trend for a couple months. You really like this artist, you really like this song. Maybe they even have a couple other songs that come out around the same time, and it's amazing. And one day you just kind of lose track of this person. And you think about them and you're like, it's been a while. Maybe a year or two later, you're like, I'm going to see if they have anything else. Like, I just feel like listening to them again. And that was all they had, were those couple of singles that came out. And you're like, what happened to this person? I know you have been there, ladies, because that has happened to me so many times with artists that come out with like one banger. And I go to look for them later. I can't find them. I can't find anything that they've done recently. And it's because they were not ready to receive their 15 minutes of fame that came and hit them so hard, because we can all get lucky. We can all do things. We can all drop 20 pounds in 3 months if we really wanted to. But is that sustainable? Is that where we want to live long term? No. I know that if you're listening to this podcast, you are all about transformation. You are all about long term success, future state you. You don't care how long it takes you, because you know that life is a journey and it's a never ending journey until you die. And we're not dying anytime soon, ladies. So we have to continually work on ourselves, continually build on becoming that dream version of ourselves that we want to be. And this is what our habits are going to do for us. So when you're picking your 3 to 5, it is important. But don't attach yourself to them. They can change. You can do one habit tomorrow, and then maybe 15, 20 days later, you see your list of habits and you're like, I want to change it. I want to do something a little different with one of these habits. That is amazing. In fact, I encourage it. Do not get too attached to these, ladies, because as you progress, as you evolve, as you transform, so will your mindset, so will your body, so will your soul. You cannot be attached to things. Things are going to change. Things are going to move. You may not have the same habits that you start the year off in 2025 with that you have at the end of 2025. And that is beautiful. I love that for you. Okay. So I use that as an example of please take your foot off the throttle. We are not trying to get to celebrity status tomorrow, because we may not be ready to receive that level of visibility in our lives until we start working on ourselves consistently. Let's talk about why your consistency has been maybe a little impacted up until this point. If you are like me, maybe you've had some things happen in your upbringing, in your childhood, that made you question your worth. Maybe you went through a breakup where you thought you met the love of your life, your soulmate, and they did something to completely betray your trust. Maybe you're constantly comparing yourself to other people on social media and questioning your worth. Maybe you're just a woman in society trying to fight and prove herself every single day in this male-dominated world. Whatever it is, that can throw you off. That will impact your consistency. The things we go through in life, and I have done so many videos already about trauma, and I suggest that you, if you're struggling with it, please go and watch those videos, because I want to help us, because that impacts your consistency. That impacts your habits. Sometimes you're having a not so good day. You don't feel like working on your business or moving your body for 30 minutes. But that is where we're going to work on the mental resilience to build and build and build. That's why we're not going to try to do 5 things at once. We're not going to try to do 3 things at once, not in the beginning. Until you can do your first habit with ease, like clockwork, like repetition, like not thinking about it, I don't want you to start a second one. We have so much that we can build on. And if 3 is too much for you, start with 1, or just do 1 for the whole year of 2025 until you get really good and really consistent with it. Like, do not put pressure on yourself. But that can always impact your consistency. What happens to you in your life and in this world will impact your consistency, unfortunately. And that is what we are going to combat today. Because again, you can get thrown off track. Things are constantly in this world vying for your attention. It's easy to get lost in other people's world, especially on social media, or something's happening with a friend or a close family member. They're going through things. Things are always competing for your attention. However, this is what habits do. They They help you build on your consistency so the focus comes back to you, because it's wonderful to pour into other people. It's even nice for you to look at social media and think like, oh, I would like to incorporate her daily routine into my daily routine. When it comes from a different lens, when you're changing your perspective, that's why my new goal going into 2025 is a mind, body, and soul connection, right? Like I've been working on things separately, but I want them to be cohesive at one. I want my perspective on everything to change. And the only way I can do that if I start changing my perspective in my daily habits constantly. Like this is a reoccurring thing. You cannot just do your habits for a week and expect to be a completely different person. Unfortunately, I wish it worked like that, but you cannot transform and you cannot even become the person that I know you are wanting to be and destined to be, ladies, because I know you're incredible. I know you are worth the transformation. You are worth the time. You are worth the patience with yourself in order for you to start investing into yourself. Not investing from a financial spot, like I know we always think of, investing the time and focus back into yourself. That is what our daily habits are going to do for us. And I mentioned having some statistics at the beginning of this video, and I am going to share them now because this was a bit startling when I researched it. And I just wanted to know what percentage of people throughout the year, whenever they set a goal, right? Because we all set goals at the beginning of the year, how many people keep that goal? And it was only 8% of the population, compiled from multiple studies over the years. Only 8% of people actually keep and complete their goals by the end of the year. 8% of 7 billion people on this planet. Guys, I want you to think about that because that's not a lot. Because unfortunately, we're not wired to be so hard coded. We are not robotic. We are people. Things are going to happen. Stuff's going to come up. We can't set this hard yes, no goal every year of did we meet it or did we not? No, we want to work on becoming the person that can receive the great things and the blessings that are coming our way through life, because you never know. What if you're limiting yourself by setting a goal? What if you say, I want to make $1 million in my business this year, and that's all you make? What if you were destined and meant to make $10 million? What if that was supposed to happen, but you put it in your mind and your understanding that that's all you want? So now you're capped because that's all you're focused on. Once you hit that million, you're like, I'm done. I'm tired. It's over. I don't have to work hard anymore. I don't have to let money come to me. I don't have to let it come freely because that's all I can handle. So that is another thing to think about when you set a hard limit on yourself with a goal. When you set a habit, however, it's going to be something that's more open and more free to change, because now you're saying, I'm investing myself the time, focus, attention, and I'm setting myself up to become that dream woman and that dream version of myself. And now I'm ready to receive whatever comes from that. And vice versa, on the other end of the spectrum, to be honest, habits and who achieves them and what percentage of people is not much better. It's 20% of people actually stick with their habits whenever they are set throughout the year, but it's still better than 8. Would you not rather be part of that 20? And I know if you're listening to this, you are part of that 20. Okay, I know that you are, ladies, because I am part of that 20, and I know this community is part of that 20, and we are going to successfully do these habits that we set for ourselves at the beginning of the year, because we can, and we are incredible. So now, because I have done this for almost a year now, and I've been working on my daily habits, I want to give everyone some advice. And, take it or leave it, but this is what has helped me. And the first piece of advice is to not overcomplicate it and not overthink it. I know it sounds simple, but I guarantee you, so many of you already have been thinking about all the habits that you're going to do that you need to be doing. And you probably have a list of maybe even 20 already. And the year hasn't even started. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Because what I would recommend is just doing 3. I would recommend maybe if you want to say, I'm moving my body for 30 minutes a day, I'm going to go on a walk maybe once a day. Like, I'm going to work on my business for an hour. I'm going to apply for jobs for 30 minutes a day. Whatever that is, one habit. Just one. And then say, what will your second one? Maybe your third. if you want to. Again, as you go throughout 2025, you will change. You will transform. You do one habit, you will change, period. So your habits that you're making right now may not be your same habits that you want to do in another 30 days from now. But at least you have a guide. Like, at least you're thinking. Like, I want us all to think about things and think about what we want. And I know everybody's thinking, oh, well, I want a Porsche. I want a car. I want a house. Like, that's my goal. Like, that's why I need to bring us all back, because it's coming, ladies. It's coming. Don't worry about the house right now. Don't worry about the car. That's going to come, right? Once you start investing in yourself, all of those things are going to come. Like, you can have them at any point. All you have to do is make a decision and decide that's what you want. But when you're investing into yourself, you're not doing it from a place of scarcity, from a place of lack, creating burnout for yourself. Like, I have to work 15 hours a day in order to get this dream house that I want. We don't want that. Nobody wants that house if that's what it's going to cost you. If it's going to cost you your health, you do not want that house. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, because I'm a person that has done this multiple times with things in her life. I have taken things too far. I have spent too much time on things. I have failed multiple times. And it's been a learning experience, but has it gotten me what I want, which is that level of mind, body, soul fulfillment? No. That comes from me. I am the fulfillment. I cannot give my power away to someone or something else because I say I wanted it at the time, right? That's sacrificing too much for me. That I'm too important, and I know you are too important to do that, because it's going to come. It's removing the expectation and being patient with yourself is the whole vibe I want us to go into 2025 with. We are going to get everything we want, and you do not have to sacrifice yourself, your character, your energy, your health to do any of it. And I will just tell you that for me and my goals, I want to be a better wife and a better mother. So I want to cook for my family more, and I want us to sit down and have family dinners. That's something I never really had. So it's important to me. And I want to move my body. I want to take care of it. I want to put healthy foods into my body and my family's body. So I'm investing my time in researching and learning more and experimenting with different recipes that, taste good, but they're also healthy. And that's important to me. I want to be a strong follower of Christ, so I am dedicating myself to reading the Bible every single day, and not only reading it from a lens of like a story, but I'm actually dissecting the word. I'm thinking, I'm praying, I'm asking for guidance, I'm asking for wisdom. So that is important to me. The things that are important to me are not going to be the same things that are important to you. And I will tell you that in my early, mid, late 20s and early 30s, these things were not important to me. Like I said, I chased a lot of things in my life that I wouldn't say I regret, because it taught me so much and I'm able to now tell you guys. But building character, I'm telling you ladies, building character now, and I wish I had known this in my 20s, but building the character now is so much more important to me than chasing all of the things. And I will be very honest, I am not a multi-millionaire or billionaire or anything, but I am blessed to have the lifestyle and the money that I have. And it's great. I am so incredibly grateful and thankful and blessed. And I thank the Most High for all of what I have. However, that doesn't bring me fulfillment. Like, these are all just things. The fulfillment comes from within me. Like, I am my own fulfillment. Me watching myself day by day try to get better and learn and grow and think and cook for my family, be a good wife, communicate better, focus on myself, take care of myself, self-care, like that is what fulfills me now. And that did not fulfill me 10 years ago, right? But I am so much better because my daily habits allow me to also see the progress that I'm making and the transformation that I've had over this past year. And it meant so much to me because I went out to dinner with my husband just last week, and he told me, he was like, honestly, you've been growing a lot and your conflict resolution skills are really improving from what I knew you from, when we first got together. We're all learning, we're all growing. I feel like I came from a place of not great communication. and I am working on myself. And as you see, I'm just trying to even make YouTube videos. And this is something I would have never done 10 years ago. I would have been too afraid. And that is part of my growth and development. And I can just look at myself on these videos and say, you did great. Why? Because you implemented and invested in yourself every single day. You didn't put hard limits on yourself. You did what was comfortable. You did what was necessary. You built on yourself every single day. And it's paying off. And that is why I feel like habits are the way to go, ladies, because I know that when you start investing in yourself every single day, just a little bit, with one habit, maybe two, you will see that exponential growth. And that's another thing. You can think that the goal is going to get you everything you want. But no, the habits are going to get you exponential growth. It's going to be hard. I mean, hard in the first few months. Like the first month, you're going to be like, oh my God, every day? Like I can't do this every day for the rest of my life. And then the second month, you're going to be like, okay, I mean, this is time for us to do the thing, right? Like whatever the habit is for us. Month 3, you're going to be like, okay, I do it kind of without even thinking about it. And now it's done. And now I can move on with my day. And then the 4th month, you're just on autopilot. I'm telling you. Like, and if you miss it one day, whatever that habit is for you, who cares? Get back on it the next day. Like, I just encourage you to invest in yourself every single day, whatever that looks like, just a little bit. And if you don't for that day, okay, next day, we'll try again. That's what habit building is for me. And we already talked about this a little bit, and it kind of builds off the last tip, but I want you to pick one. And I want you to do it for 15 to 30 days, just one habit, and then see how you feel. And I know we talked about this, but I want you to do it consistently, not to do it day 1, day 2, miss day 3, day 4, miss day 4, day 5, okay, we're back. Day 6, we missed day 6. Day 7, you're not going to see a lot of progress because it's okay to miss a day. Okay, maybe even 2. But when you're really trying to build something into your daily routine, like it needs to be automatic. So with that, don't make it too complicated. Don't make it to where you're trying to fit maybe 5 different habits in one and saying like, oh yeah, this is my one habit. Like, no. Okay, we're picking one. Okay, maybe it's read 5 pages of a book a day. That is something that you could probably do consistently. You could probably find 30 minutes of your day to read 5 pages or, 10 minutes. I don't know if you're a really good reader. But then I encourage you with that is like to just deepen it a little bit, Maybe you dissect the message, maybe you read outside. Maybe you take that habit and you're like, okay, after that, I go on a walk. That comes at the end of the 15 to 30 days after you're very automatic with that one habit. You haven't overcomplicated it. You haven't tried to fit 3 habits into one right at the start of the year. Like just pick one. Don't overcomplicate it. And then maybe try to deepen it a little bit towards the end of the 15 or 30 days, whatever that looks like for you, depending on your consistency. Just make sure that you're working with yourself to like deepen your understanding of what that habit is and what it takes for you to complete it. And then you can build on it after the first month. And so the last piece of advice that I'm going to give you, because I've said this multiple times on multiple different videos, and it has just changed my life for the better, is to remove the expectation and to remove the outcome. Some of you are not going to like that, right? Because you've already said in your mind, you have 10 goals and you're going to complete all of them for 2025. Wonderful, sis. I really want that for you. I really, really, really do. But there is a reason why only 8% of people complete their goals. And it's because they put an expectation, a hard limit on something that likely did not need a hard limit. And then they got discouraged, and then they gave up, and then they didn't feel good about themselves, and then their self-esteem and their self-confidence got impacted. And then going into 2026, they're like, I'm just not going to do any goals anyway, because their brain has now told them, okay, no goals is safe. We like to be safe. And by you trying to do all those things, you failed, and you set yourself up for failure, and that did not make you feel good, so we're not going to do that again. No. That is not the way to think about it, but that is unfortunately what a goal can bring. It can bring an expectation of an outcome, and if it's not reached, you feel discouraged. And that's why I'm telling you, it has changed my life to remove the expectation, remove the outcome, and just try your best every single day and do the things that you know you need to do, that you want to do for your dream life to take place and come into fruition. That is just work on yourself. That is all you have to do. Invest that time, determine what you want to do for yourself, and then take a small action and do it every day. Because I'm already telling you, you will be so much farther ahead. You know, it says 20%, of people stick with their habits. 20%. So what happens to the other 80? You're already ahead of the other 80 if you just stick with what you're already doing and remain consistent. You will get all the things that you want to get and have and receive over time. It's going to come. It has no choice. You're becoming the person. You're doing the things. You're moving consistently. It has no choice. It has no choice to come. So remove the expectation, remove the timeline. Just focus on yourself and building yourself into the dream woman that you want to be. And that is all you need to do for 2025. I really do hope that this video helped you, and I really hope that it helped you see that having habits as a long-term sustainable strategy is going to be so much better than setting a goal in 2025. And I want to know, ladies, in the comments, what habits you are going to be forming in 2025, because I will help you. I promise we can do this together. I'm thinking of doing some type of like habit challenge or something that we could just hold each other accountable in the community section, or maybe even a text string if that's interesting to anyone. Because again, I am transforming. I am evolving into this person that I just want to get better every single day. I just want to work and pour into myself. And I know that you are watching this. You are that same person because you are worth investing in. You are valuable. You are loved. You are cared for. And if no one else does this for you, you have to do it for yourself because you are valuable. You are a person of value. And by doing this, you will only become more valuable. You will only become a person that is ready to receive all of your blessings that you already have coming your way. So don't block them. Don't block them. Just get ready for them. Prepare yourself for them. That way, again, you don't end up like one of those artists that are not ready to handle their blessings and they only have a one-hit wonder and then you never hear from them again. I don't know what their life looks like. I'm not going to judge them. But I am telling you that likely they probably would have liked to have 2 or 3 big hits or successes. And that just does not happen for everybody. We are not one-hit wonders over here, ladies. Okay, we are continual learners. We love ourselves. We continually invest in ourselves. And we do it from a place of abundance, not lack, not scarcity. Abundance and love. So please, again, let me know in the comments what habits you are taking into 2025. That way I can help you. And if you are still struggling with survival mode and think like, no, I need all of these goals, I need to complete them, I'm attaching myself to them, they are part of my self-worth. I'm telling you from the place of this was me a couple years ago. Please check out my video on healing your survival mode, something like that. But I just want us to get out of that lack, scarcity, not fulfillment. You know, I want us to come into our era of this year and beyond. We are loving on ourselves more. We are creating more abundance. We are becoming that dream woman. We are already her. We are just now unlocking her. And that